Hello, everybody. Here we go. Hi, what's going on? All right, we're playing some Pioneer tonight. Uh, All right, I think we are just about good here. So I have to get my deck quick. Actually, I have the cards. I just have to build the deck. All right, add deck. Import. Devotion. And this is mono blue, so we pick the island. There we go. Beautiful, isn't it? Come on, wait. Why are the islands messed up here? Surely I have one more of these. Yeah. Okay, that's strange. Whatever. It's fine. Much better. That looks nice. 60, 15. Okay, yeah, there we go. And it's even sized appropriately this time, too. That's great. Alright, so yeah, we're going to play more Mono Blue Devotion because this is fun. And this is a version of the list I have not played yet before, but I am interested to try. So this one is a lot closer to what Merfolk in this format would actually look like. There's no lords really. Or I should say, there's one lord for Merfolk and Pioneer, so that's not really a strategy to go that way. But almost all of the creatures in this deck are Merfolk wizards, so we can make use of Wizard's Retort as a counterspell card. So a lot of times what will happen is we'll play like Harbinger, Trickster, and Benthic Biomancer together, and then play Wizard's Retort in the main deck to help have interaction against some of the important decks like Control and whatnot. So, and we also like Gadwick is also a wizard, and Master Waves is as well. It'd be really cool if we had like more stuff to reward us for that, but it is what it is. Maybe one day we'll have like Cavern of Souls, and this will just get to be an even stronger plan. Also, Thassa's Oracle is a wizard, but more importantly, and this actually doesn't really do anything with wizards, but it is a wizard card. It's a wizard class. So the reason that we are playing this card is one, it's devotion that doesn't die to removal spells, and also it draws cards when you level it up, and its effect that you have no maximum hand size does come in handy at certain points, but really the last thing is it gives us a way that when we have enough mana to get it to level 3, this effect here combos with Benthic Biomancer. So the deal is when you get wizard class up to level 3, you have enough Nykthos mana to like just go ridiculous. Yeah, you level this up, so whenever you draw a card, you put a counter on a creature you control. Benthic Biomancer's effect, we can adapt him at any time, so he can get his +1/+1 counter from adapting, but also like whenever he has a counter put on him, you draw a card and discard a card. So what happens is wizard class makes you put a counter on a creature for drawing, and then you put it on Biomancer, and Biomancer triggers, you draw a card, discard a card. Then you having drawn a card for Biomancer triggers Wizard class, so you put another counter in Biomancer. Eventually, you will draw through your whole deck. That's the thing here. Now, you need to have at least one other creature in play in order to break this loop, or otherwise you will just end up losing by decking yourself. So once you get through the entirety of your deck, the plan is you then put the last counter in anything else. You have like a million cards in hand, so you draw until you have your Thassa's Oracle, and then you play it, and with hopefully a huge amount of devotion, and you have like no cards left in your deck. So Thassa's Oracle hits play, and then triggers, and you win. So yeah, these two cards in addition to comboing with this, we don't need as many oracles here because we really only need to draw. Well, we're gonna draw through our deck once we have this online. And it's not like it's a primary plan to do this, but it is something that it makes it so we have a 1-drop that can actually be played with Wizard's Retort, and it's also a 1-drop that can theoretically combo to win the game. So yeah, we're not all in on it, but it is a plan that works in the list. So other than that, we have a bunch of tempo bears here. We have returned Thassa to the list. Thassa keeps our tempo plan alive by making our creatures unblockable. Especially if you have, like, 2 Tricksters and Thassa in play, you can make Thassa unblockable, get in for 5. That's very nice. And the other card I wanted to try is Ledger Shredder. It's a 1/3 with flying, so it's automatically going to be a good blocker versus the Spirits deck. But now, anytime a player casts 2 spells a turn, and it doesn't have to be you, you get to draw a card and discard a card and put a +1/+1 counter on it. So basically, it does the same thing like Benthic Biomancer does, but it does it once per turn for like each player casting 2 spells. So if your opponent casts 2 spells in their turn, this connives, and then if you also cast 2 spells in their turn, then it connives again. So it can dig through the deck, and if you draw like extra copies of Nykthos or Thassa, you can just discard them. So, or Leyline of the Anticipation, like that actually is one of the main reasons. It's a good flying blocker that helps us sift through the deck a little bit, and it rewards us when our opponent is trying to double spell, because it's generally a little bit harder for us to do it. But now it's saying if the opponent is casting 2 things, well, it's benefiting us for them to do it, because this will get bigger and you'll get to sculpt your hand a little bit. So that's how this works. All right, I know Contra's here. You ready? Contra is our most loyal viewer. The sideboard is basically the same nonsense as always. Aether Gust, yeah, we know what all these do. The Damping Sphere really is just for the Lotus Field deck. A combination of Ashiok and Grafdigger's Cage for like Phoenix. Mystical Dispute and like Hullbreaker Horror can come in against control. So yeah, it's all fine. I still think that like Pioneer it's gonna be tough for Devotion to probably do well, but it is a fun deck to play, so we're gonna do that. We will give it our best. It is possible that at one point Devotion will just like get better over time as they put more cards in the format. Like, it would also really help if they put something like Master the Pearl Trident into Pioneer, because then it would give us a reasonable plan B that we could fall back on to win with. In addition to going big with like Gadwick, we could also then have just a bunch of like Island Walkers, or maybe even Splash Green, and we'd play like Merfolk with Master Waves, and I don't even know. Maybe we wouldn't need like Leyline at that point. It's hard to say. Yeah, the Damping Sphere for Lotus and Mono Green. We won the die roll, so we will absolutely play first. Generally, like, Damping Sphere does hurt our Nykthos, but if we're bringing it in, it's because it hurts the opponents more. We're up against Gigantha. Well, we have Leyline and 2 islands, so this is an easy keep. And we're definitely going to play this Ledger Shredder at an appropriate time. Botanical Sanctum, okay. See what they do. Is this Spirits? I don't think so, right? I don't think Spirits would not have Skyclave Apparition. So this might be one of the combo lists. Okay, well, if they wanted to cast 2 cantrips this turn, it's going to benefit us, so. Hollowed Fountain, you say? Portable hole. Oh no, goodbye, Shredder. Okay, well, we don't need to really do anything else right now. Alright, let's see what they're up to. Okay, this has to be like a Velamachius list or something, right? Oh, Jeskai Ascendancy? Oh, that's a problem. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. We might be in trouble here. You know, we didn't have Wizard's Retort for this thing. That sucked. Interesting. They go to 12. They still have a bunch of mana here. Ugh. I do not like this. And the Spiral's definitely going to let them... Look, this Shredder would have been so good. They had the portable hole. Discard Sylvan Awakening. Okay, well, they... Alright, well... Interesting. Hmm. I think we need to adapt this. I don't think using Gadwick is really where we need to be. I guess we just have to hope that they can't win this turn. If we had found Wizard's Retort, I would feel a lot better about this turn, but... That is not good. I really would have loved to counter this. Now, yeah, this is a problem because now that this resolves, they untap all creatures. Like, so basically they can just, like, chain everything at this point. Like, if I had a counterspell, I obviously would have used it here. So I'm just going to play this and then just F6 and just see if they can do it. Because I have nothing. Like, they know that I have nothing. Because if I had a counterspell, I would have countered that. Now, they know exactly that they can just kill me with this. Jeskai Ascendancy is going to just defeat me with this, so... And they don't need to go very much, either. Oh my god, Treasure Cruise. Yeah, we knew we had to be in trouble when they discarded one of these. Um, we have a lot of good sideboard cards for this. We definitely bring in Aether Gust and Mystical Dispute. Also, Damping Sphere hurts them a lot too, so... Yeah, like, there's a lot of ways for us to really cause them pain. You know, they've got this. They know it. They know it and we know it. All right. Yeah, there just really wasn't much we could do about it. All right, Thassa is gonna come out here. Honestly, I don't think that we don't want wizard class for this, and it's hard to say. Master Waves might be fine. We probably don't need Oracle. I think that Gadwick is the thing that we cut here. Oh, they still could have like verdicts and stuff, so I don't know. It's really hard to say. We might need to dig through our deck for more counter spells. I don't have Test of Talents in my sideboard. Alright, I'm just gonna do it like this. Yeah, we have to keep this. Borrower is actually good because we can always flash that threat in. So we get to hold up Mystical Dispute and threaten to play a flyer. They might have an impulse for it, yeah. Like, there's not a whole lot I can do for the impulse, but it's fine. That's also okay. Can't counter that one. Alright, well, just hope these disputes are good enough. Had like a million turns to draw more answers, and like we're not doing too bad yet. Okay. I would love if this Trickster could resolve, so then we could play Master theoretically. Okay, it's fine. I play Master, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 damage. They could theoretically play Ascendancy and I don't know. Alright. Maybe this is fine. Because I guess if they shock themselves, then they're dead, right? So okay, we got it. One counter spell was all it took. Alright, excellent. Master Waves did look really good there. You know what? Maybe I do just take out, like, Gadwick. Actually, you know what? Maybe I take out the ley lines here, to be honest. Reasonable, but I really want the ability to play stuff at flash speed. I'll just take out Gadwick. I think Master looked really good, and most of the removal seemed to be red-based, so it's likely to stick. I mean, yeah, I guess we have Leyline and a counterspell. Just hope that we draw more relevant cards. It's not really what I was hoping for there. That definitely isn't really it either. Yep, we have a Sylvan Caryatid. Alright, well, let's just play Dispute and Trickster. Hopefully that's good enough. We just put Gigantha in hand. Interesting. That's not bad. Alright. Okay, we're not going to trick them. I guess if they play Gigantha, that's not that big a deal, because I will just play Master of Waves. Well, they didn't. They didn't play anything. This makes me really be... I'm suspicious. Right. Maybe I play Shredder here. They know nothing's up with Trickster, so it's fine, I guess. Still leave myself one up for this. I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, I guess I should play it now if I'm going to. Oops. They still didn't do anything. This really makes me think they have counterspells in their hand, and I probably should have tried Master of Waves there, but I let that resolve and I shouldn't have. Hmm. So I have to imagine that they're just like holding on to like Mystical Dispute plus Ascendancy here. Because that's the only reason they wouldn't just gem Gigantha. Interesting. Okay. So let's see. 3, 4. That still leaves me up Dispute, I guess. Alright, let's see. That was a really good draw here. Alright, I can use the Otawara to bounce Gigantha. And I still have Wizard's Retort up. This looks not bad for us. Hopefully Retort is fine. Okay. That's okay. Still a lot of ways that this can help us. Four. If we draw a land, we can activate this. If they have nothing, that would be okay. Hmm. Well, that's... Oh, they just gave up. Never mind. I guess they had nothing left, so... I don't think they should have gave up, right? Like, we didn't quite have it. Yeah, we only had 4 devotion here, so that's 4, yeah, 5. We were still a mana short from activating this hall. If we had the hall, then we forced them to block 2 of these, and then no, I guess they have no, never mind. I was thinking they might have a removal spell, but I guess they just don't have removal, and they just realized that I have lethal in play. So there we go. Beat Jeskai Ascendancy. Gonna watch me play while you run the treadmill? Yeah, appreciate that. Good luck. I hope that you do well with it. Oh god, this hand is terrible. Well, we have to mulligan, and we are in the draw. Oh god, no, double mulligan. All right, well, we don't have a choice but to keep this. I don't really need Oracle right away. I don't. I hate to say it, but I don't think Thassa is what we need here. This is not a terribly great hand, but this is what we have to work with. Hall of the Storm Giants. That means we're probably up against the control deck. Well, that definitely helps. Can theoretically curve into Master. I think Ascendancy should be a good matchup for us, just because we have a lot of hate cards for them. Is this Esper? Looks like it. Well, I don't have to do anything right now. I might. Okay, what's blue-black here that I need to be worried about? Thoughtseize. Alright, well, I need to get something out here. So they... Yeah, it doesn't really matter what they take. We're just kind of screwed no matter what, so... Presumably they just have a handful of removal, I'm guessing. But what are they... Like, what's this pathway all about? No, it's... it's not really clear what they're doing yet. Oh, Valky. Oh, that's not great. Okay, so maybe this is like Grixis control. I don't think they're going to block, so we may as well attack. At least if they block, we get our creature back, but... Yeah, okay. This is going to be difficult. We just don't really have anything going on. See, as much as I would love to Harbinger this thing right now, I think I have to let it attack me again. Because I have to do it at their end step so I can actually play the Borrower before Valky comes down and retakes it. Okay, Heartless Act, it's fine. We have 4 cards right now, and we know what one of them is. This is getting worse. So they might just replay Valky in Tybalt mode next. Entirely possible. We're not going to win by not playing the cards. If they have Culligan's Command, they would have used it already. Interesting. So no more removal, it looks like. Well, we can draw and hope for a Wizard's Retort, I guess. This is Bolas? Ooh, okay. Oh, I can only level it up as a sorcery, never mind. I think. Yeah. Well, if they're wasting Extinction Event on Borrower, that's not that bad. Okay, they spent 5 mana to just kill our creatures. Alright. Hey, I guess this is just what's happening, and just hope they don't draw a land. Okay. Yeah, it's not great. Uh, Dig Through Time just really put them back in. Well, surprisingly, we're not like super losing yet, but now we really need an answer to this fucking Valky. It is gonna kick our asses. Hmm. I'm trying to save the bounce on Borrower so it can buy us another turn. I assume, like, they could just slam Tybalt here. This is not really good for us. Okay. They exile land. And then from them... No. You know, fucking... You drew Spell Pierce off that. That's dumb. You know what? That's still my fault because I should have did it in response to the ability. So I totally walked into that. What happens here? Problem is if I... Well, this has protection from this, so... This might be okay. I put Master on top. Does mean I don't get to attack with Thassa this turn, but it'll make me some tokens at least. They're tapped out, so that's something. This still can't remove any of my stuff. I just need them not to kill Master Waves this turn. They got Consider. Alright. Okay, but that might not matter. Their life total is getting low. No, no. It's not great. That's a thing. Discarded thought like that. Yeah, this Shredder is just hard to deal with now. Giving him that was a problem. Oh, fuck, I can just remove all the even stuff now. Okay, well, definitely not helping my cause. Okay, well, how do I not, like, lose to this thing? I guess that technically works. No! The Fatal Push is so difficult on me right now. Okay, I had a chance, but, like, now it's probably gone. This thing is just gonna just really fuck me up. I really wanted to try to get Thassa online so I could, like, go after this. It's so difficult. So they're effectively drawing, like, 3 cards a turn. Oh, God. Like, it's basically over at this point. The Hull of the Storm Giants is sitting over there, and that can come online at any point, too. So, like, they either need to be, like, tapped out, or I have to be able to give this unblockable. Definitely fucking up with that Brazen Borrower. Like I should have cast it in response to activating this. Definitely bottom. It's probably too late for this to matter. I could play the Leyline, I guess. Interesting they chose not to block. Maybe we're not as far away from this as we thought. Oh yeah, that's a creature now. Fuck. Well, we still have Wizard's Retort up, I guess. Oh fuck no, you don't do that. Alright. There's no way that we can come back from, like, they have way too much value. We mulled to 5 and they fucking resolved Dig Through Time, so like there's nothing we could do. Rough. Alright. You definitely want the counter spells and we want the horrors. I think that's basically it. This is probably not a matchup where Benthic Biomancer really matters a lot. The only thing that it helps with, I guess, is Wizard's Retort. I don't anticipate that we're comboing with Oracle very much here. Like, these are just kind of bears for the most part. This does help us dig a little bit. These wizard class is also difficult for them to remove. But, yeah, there just wasn't a whole lot we could do. His hand is not good with only one land. This is better. We just put a land on the bottom, but otherwise this is okay. Needs a little help, though. It's always hard mulliganing against Thoughtseize decks. Life is rough. This is a Thoughtseize Mystical Dispute deck, too, which is just not great. I guess if they cast, like, a Opt or Consider or something, I probably do cast this here. So they are going to have to use mana on their turn anyway, but we'll play around Mystical Dispute by just jamming this now. Sure. It's not a bad draw. It's certainly much worse. Alright, let's see what they do here. Can't do anything about the Thoughtseize, so sucks. They know we have Otawara in our hand, but I guess it's still better for us to hang on to that, even though, like, we could have a mystery card if we play this, but then it's still just an island. Like, the mystery is not worth, like, actually playing this. There's not really much to say here. The tail is not terribly great. Definitely don't want that happening. They'll replay it and take Trickster, but it is much better than that, flipping that into Tybalt, so they ended up getting Trickster anyway. But that sequencing did let them play into Otawara, so like we did get to beat the release. This is not really what I want to be doing with, 4 mana, but we need something at this point. They're also set up perfectly for dig through time now. What if they just released, like, again? Okay, like, we're fucked. Like, we're just gonna give up here. There was nothing we could do. We were just, like, helpless. Mulliganed and completely outdrawn. They had double releases with the Valky. That's just ridiculous. I don't know. What are you gonna do? Too much for us to deal with, for sure. I mean, it's kind of like the worst case scenario for us in a lot of ways. The heck? How Boas got a little spot on him. I don't know. There's like a little spot on his horn here. I don't know how it got there. I just noticed it. But yeah, no, it's kind of the worst thing for all of it, like of all worlds, because they have the mystical disputes and lots of removal, and yeah, just a very powerful control plan around it. So, and yeah, mulliganing against Thoughtseize definitely is always rough. So, well, we're on the play, so that's nice. I think we can keep this. This has the potential to go places. Well, they mulled a 5. Okay, well. Hopefully Trickster will slow them down a little bit. Godless Shrine. Okay, interesting. So what is this? The Aura's deck, by maybe? Hmm. We might play Gadwick next turn. There's Soaring. Oh, they were just playing against vampires. Oh my god, they fucking mulled to 5 and they still had turn 3 Champion of Dusk. Hmm. I think I still want that. We can combo the Gadwick plus Harbinger to get rid of this thing, and then kill Soren, hopefully. Or if they kill Gadwick, then I can just play Harbinger plus Trickster. Or maybe they will just Thoughtseize by Harbinger. Now maybe Thassa can just make something unblockable. We can kill it that way. I think they have to take the Harbinger here. That's the only option that really makes sense. I don't think they want to allow me to Trickster plus Harbinger this turn. Yeah. Alright, I agree with that decision. Like here, I could potentially just play like Shredder and then make Trickster unblockable, attack Soren. Or I guess if they kill off... I guess if they kill off like Gadwick by sacrificing a vampire here, which it looks like they're going to do. Yeah. I can just play the Trickster. You have another creature? Okay, they do. No, I'm absolutely not blocking that. Why would you do that? Definitely bottom this. Okay, well maybe... Hey, maybe now, like, Soren just dies, right? Thassa comes online here. I just cast Shredder, cast Trickster. Trickster taps this thing down. Okay. Let me definitely get rid of Oracle here. Let's kill Soren. I guess go after their face. They don't have terribly great attacks. Like, I don't think I'm blocking any of this. I'm killing them way faster than they're killing me. They can't block that. I can attack them for 7 this turn and just like bounce this thing. I guess I could attack for 8 if I really want to. So kind of force them to block here. They don't really seem to have a lot going on. They just gave up. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, our board was pretty overwhelming. Like, they didn't really have a good way to stop it. Okay, well, honestly, there's not a whole lot we can change. Like, our sideboard is not really designed for this deck. Yeah, I don't know how much any of this really matters. This doesn't stop Soaring from doing its thing. I mean, Hullbreaker Horror, I guess, is okay if we live long enough for this to matter, but Dispute's, like, not terribly amazing. I think we just run this back. Like, the sideboard is not really for this deck. It should be okay. Well, I don't know about this. I kept 7 cards. This is probably going to need, like, a hope and a prayer, but we'll keep it. We'll hopefully go Biomancer and then maybe adapt worst case. With Thassa on our side, how can we lose? Well, I mean, the answer is pretty obvious, I think, but... yeah, alright. I think we want to do this right now before... we definitely don't want that. We're not attacking. It is a vampire, so Soaring can definitely do its stupid nonsense again. Do they just have multiple Aetherborns? That's not great. Okay. Well, that sort of helps. We just cast Harbinger here. We gotta try to slow them down a little bit. Hope that we continue drawing lands. Oh no, they're afraid to attack here. Oh, Kalitas? That's not great. I don't really want to do anything here. I think I just need to hold on to Trickster for Kalitas. See if they use any removal first. They could have, like, Fatal Push right now. Okay, well, no Fatal Push, it looks like. See, like, here if they attack, this might actually be a reasonable block, because they're not going to get any tokens out of this. They're only going to kill one creature. Wait, how the hell did they kill 2 things? What the fuck just happened? Benthic Biomancer, Harbinger the Tides, that's a bug. We adapted this thing, right? Yeah, so that was a 2/2. They had to assign 2 damage to this. It was a 2/3. They only have 2 damage to assign to it. They have to assign 2 to this. Uh yeah. That has to be a bug. Like, there's no fucking reason that should have happened. So, and that really changes this now, because the fact that, like, we had 2 creatures die here means it makes it a lot harder for our devotion to get online. Yeah, so they shouldn't have been able to kill 2 creatures. Absolutely ridiculous. Fuck. Alright, well, I don't know what we can do about it. Uh, oh well, the match goes on, I guess. Yeah, but he doesn't have trample, right? Yeah, I know that it has death touch, but I thought it's only allowed to do that if it has trample. Yeah, uh all right. We'll see. All right. Well, we're getting hit in the face for a lot this turn, I think. What do we need to have happen right now? I think we just need Thassa. Hmm. Well, that's not great. I think probably take Trickster here. So that's my best route to stabilizing. I mean, it might be appealing to take Master Waves, but I think the Trickster actually matters a little bit more because I'm more likely. Yeah, there we go. That's correct. Oh god, yeah, I'm just gonna lose now. All right, what do we got? I guess put it on top. We play Oracle in, or we play Shredder into Oracle, or we could play Gadwick. None of these are like great. We're not surviving too much longer like this. If I play Gadwick into like Master Waves, that might be alright. I really don't want to be blocking any of this stuff. If I play Ledger Shredder, I can theoretically block this thing, right? Because this, yeah, so you know what? Actually, I like the Shredder into Oracle plan a little bit more. Let's see, what else do we, so assume that I can definitely play Master Waves next turn. It's just a matter of if one of these creatures die, like, does it matter? Like, let's assume they kill the Oracle. I'm not sure that I want any of these, to be honest. None of these look terribly good. Alright. Let's just hope there's no removal spells this turn. And then hopefully Master Waves can come out and buy us a bunch of time. Well, that probably means we're dead. It's gonna sacrifice this and kill off Oracle. Yeah, and now I have no reasonable way of stabilizing this. So you can just sacrifice a creature to kill off Master Waves here. Alright, seed game. Alright, we just run this back and hope that we do better in the play. I would love to be in the play. This is probably okay. I might be wrong about this Death Touch thing. That might have actually been a mistake in my part. I'm trying to look this up at the same time here. Mm-hmm. Uh, and um, uh, all right. Yeah, I mean, we might actually just be in the wrong here. That definitely seems like it's possible. I don't really want to attack here. I do want to draw 2 cards, though. Okay. Pass. There was definitely a chance where I could have just attacked and that would have been bad. Oh my god. Okay. Well, it's not hopeless yet. Can definitely bounce this back to their hand, so. Uh, hmm. Trying to figure out what the best way to do this is. Definitely Borrower could bounce this thing. Could play Shredder. They might just play... See, the thing is, they might just play like a creature and sacrifice it to get rid of my Shredder, though. I would really like the ability to stick something. So the other option is, I guess... I could play Shredder plus Benthic Biomancer, and then maybe Harbinger. No, but that doesn't really work. They tick up uh, they could tick up Soaring. The problem is I might not have a way to beat this Mutavault. Maybe I'm just supposed to Trickster this thing next turn. Hmm. Mm. Uh. Like I kind of want to bounce this with Borrower, but at the same time, like I'm also trying to decide what else I might want to do here because I really would like to be able to kill Soaring, but there's no like if I bounce this with Borrower right now, then I definitely can't like kill Soaring because they could just like activate Mutavault and throw it at whatever creature I play in order to kill it. But you know what? Okay, now if I play Ledger Shredder and do this, it will only deal 3 damage. It won't actually kill it. So this might be the way that this works. Okay. Okay. Let's discard Benthic Biomancer. Okay. So they have to have actual removal to kill this right now. That doesn't look pleasant for us. Oh, okay, you know what? No, this is fine because we can kill Soren this way. What do they do with this? Okay. This is actually okay. So I attack, kill Soren, then maybe then play Master Waves or Thassa. Thassa might be fine. Right, this doesn't have flying. I really want to get like Trickster or something out though. I can do both of these in their turn. Alright, I'm gonna try to do Trickster and Borrower in their turn. I think this is a better plan. Then I can get another Connive trigger off here. Um, this Kalidas. It's think we bounce Edgar here. No, we bounce the Kalidas because we can use Harbinger on the other thing. Duh. Come on, I played this game. I know how this works. It's so hard, but I think I have to discard Island. I just need to draw Island basically. It's not the worst actually. Okay. So I can use Nykthos. This makes 4 mana here. Play Harbinger. And I guess I could just play Thassa, right? Or if I play the other Nykthos, that's 2, 4, 6, 7. So I can play both of these if I use the other Nykthos. So yeah, I have 3, 6. So all right, I have to use that to activate it, and then I have 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. We'll keep this one. Oh, this has to resolve first. All right. Now we play Master Waves. All right. Okay. There we go. We should be easily winning now. We have 2 borrowers on backup. All right. All right. Good games, opponent. All right. Well, despite that, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that was the correct block for that other Aetherborn in that case, and yeah, that might have just been a blunder. So, despite that, we win the match. Um, yeah, this was all right. Soaring does some cool stuff. I like Soaring as a card. I think that card is really neat. So happy to see that it's getting played. It's just a matter of figuring out how to make the math work to cast all our stuff the way it needs to. Onlylands.com. Oh my god. I don't even know if I would want to attempt to like search that site. Yeah, this looks like this is fine. We have our Leyline plus 2 mana here. Oh fuck! I was on the play. Oh no. I thought I was on the draw. That was a huge mistake. You want to negate that? That's fine with me. I have way better things for you to be negating. Uh, go. All of these look pretty good, but I think the one that we're going to want is Thassa. Because this looks like this is going to be a somewhat grindy game. And as soon as our opponents tap out, we're going to play Thassa. Usually once this hits the field, it's very difficult for these decks to remove. Alright. Okay. This might be dragons. It could be Phoenix, I guess. Treasure Cruise. That doesn't really tell us a whole lot. I don't think that's the one. Get in our attack. I mean, sure, they can, like, kill off a creature, but Thassa got to attack. That was the important thing. Strangle. Interesting. What's going on here? Are we going to see a dragon or what? Prismari command? Okay, are they going to, like, try to combo kill it? Wait, I thought... Well, I guess it doesn't matter, but I thought when it connives, it got a counter on it. So why did it not get a counter for them? I definitely bottom that. Okay, that's not that big a deal. Um, this is okay. Oh, fuck. No, I fucked up. I forgot that they would actually be able to do that. I should have attacked with Thassa first. I got greedy. I thought I could bounce it, but I totally forgot that, like, triggered off of my spells too. Oh, they didn't recast it. That's interesting. I guess put on top here. I don't need to do anything right now. Jesus Christ. They have Hullbreaker Horror in here as well. Okay, well that's gonna feel real bad. They have two uncounterable threats, so you know what? Keeping this was actually a huge blunder as well. My initial thought was I would just counter Niv-Mizzet, but it's also uncounterable, so like the second thing is like maybe we could counter like Dig Through Time or something, but this is way worse. Fuck. We're like basically just dead to this Hullbreaker Horror because I have no way to defeat this. It's just gonna bounce back everything. Yeah, like we are actually just stone cold dead to this thing. It just bounces back my like Leyline and my thought. Like anything I put into play, they can just get rid of. They have like a bajillion cantrips. Yeah, I think like we safely concede to the. One of those was enough. Like maybe honestly, like even if we had like attacked through Niv-Mizzet, I don't think it would have actually mattered. I think the Hullbreaker Horror was just too much of a that was already too much on its own. So yeah, that what a problem that was. All right, I guess the Aether Gust actually does work on Niv-Mizzet and like a bunch of their removal. I don't know like how much I want to rely on it though. I definitely don't think Wizard class, and we're not gonna like combo through this. I don't know how much I want to like play around that. The problem is like if yeah, like if I even try to like Aether Gust it, I guess I can do it when it's on the stack. When it's in play, it's already so bad to do that. Uh yeah, honestly, I don't really have a answer to this. All right, I guess I'm just going to do this like this. Didn't matter. I screwed up like twice and it didn't matter. We have horror, but like there's no reasonable way we're getting to it. I guess I could play Biomancer and adapt it, but that's not great because they can just counter it with removal. This is actually a little bit better. Or I guess Gadwick's a little bit better than Harbinger. Okay. Fuck. Like that would I definitely would have preferred to have discarded that. Oh, what are you gonna do? I probably have to play Trickster here just so I get more creatures in play to keep this retort alive. Also, potentially just so I can start getting devotion for this Gadwick. Yeah, sure. I expect them to impulse something, so. Alright. I don't have a lot of good choices here. I could draw one card with Gadwick right now, but it doesn't really help me. But the option is also holding up for like Treasure Cruise and trying to counter that. They already have 6 cards in hand, so it's I don't know, it's just hard. It feels like no matter what I do, it's just not great. This Nykthos was not really helpful in that regard. Well, I think this I definitely have to try. Like countering in 3, yeah, them it deals with 3 cards from them, so not really gonna get much better value on that. It could be the rest of their hand is just clunky nonsense. Okay, well we get to draw 2 at least. Alright, there's anger. I mean, not great, but what are you gonna do? It's a problem. Can't really deal with it. Uh okay, that's important to know. Connive only puts the counter on for non-land cards discarded. So because we discard Nykthos here, it doesn't get it. Alright. That's good to know because I actually am not familiar with this mechanic. Alright. Well, reasonably the only thing I can do here is cast Gadwick, so just draw 2 more cards. I can't attack through this thing, but casting Brazen Borrower can tap it. But they have Niv Mizzet out, and I don't have any real way of dealing with it. Niv Mizzet is way too difficult for this deck to beat. Counter spells are like the biggest way to deal with it, and like bouncing it is still not great because they still get to draw cards and deal damage. So yeah, at this point, like we don't really have any hope here. They have now assembled 2 threats that can easily kill us. Well, never mind. Maybe Hullbreaker Horror has something to say about this. If we can get one more land, then it's possible. Okay. Probably just use Castle Vantress to scry for a land. Uh, they didn't do anything here. I need an untapped land. That wasn't really what I was looking for. He's not going to do dick. I mean, I could try bouncing it, but I don't know how effective that's going to be. I don't really think it is. But it's also lethal, like, if we don't, right? Because it'd be 14 plus Niv Mizzet, so I have to do something. But I think it's too late, because now that we know they have horror in hand, like, I don't really have any way to combat this. Playing Borrower doesn't really do anything. I guess I could have tried to just chump block Niv Mizzet with it. That's not it either. Like, yeah, I think we're sufficiently losing this match, so that's fine. I can't beat the horror. The combination of like Niv Mizzet and horror, like both of those cards are just like basically impossible to beat for us. The type of removal that is necessary to beat them is not present in our 75. What are you gonna do? It's actually very similar to the Grixis list, where they do have like lots of removal counter spells and just threats that we just have a hard time dealing with. Kind of like Tybalt. Well, both of those threats they played are just ridiculous. All right. Well, if we can win the last one, we get our points back, so that would be nice. Man, imagine if like Cavern of Souls was in this format. That would be fantastic. I would love to see Tribal boosted in Pioneer. It was really close to being in this format too, because it was only like 2 sets ahead of it, right? Because they started Return to Ravnica, so the core set with Master of the Pearl Trident wasn't in, and Avacyn Restored, I believe, was right before that, which had Cavern of Souls. So starting at Return to Ravnica means it like missed like 2 of the best cards that would have helped like Merfolk in this format. But I mean, Cavern would have also significantly helped this deck because making all the wizards uncounterable would be great. I think I'm gonna keep this. Okay, we are actually on the draw this time, so no, that's not good. All right, well, we play the Biomancer. Hopefully it lives, and then we have Retort online. Uh-oh. That's bad. I guess I could just play 2 more Biomancers here. I don't know what they might do on turn 3 that would be a problem, though. But I think I have to just take that chance. But us casting 2 spells now is now an issue with this, so what are you going to do? Shredder is just really, really good, but it's better in the decks that have all the cantrips and burn spells, for sure. This card is absolutely just ridiculous. It's actually pushing out like Dragon's Rage Channeler, which is insane enough because Dragon's Rage Channeler was already pushing out like Delver of Secrets and Modern, and even in like Legacy we start to see it now too. So it's like this is 2 orders of magnitude removed from Delver of Secrets. My God. I don't even know how to describe that in like in other terms that make sense. Okay. Okay, well, let's just hope Retort will help us race this thing. That's nice because it does help us bounce the Shredder if we can draw another land. That might help as well. We'll do this now so we don't have to connive it in their turn. This looks like this might be a repeat of what happened last game, though. They already have like a million cards in hand, so just recast. So, like, casting like Treasure Cruise is not that great for them because they'll have to discard probably. So it depends if they have another one of these things. Of course they do. Why would they not? Now they have Treasure Cruise and this. Oh, that's even better. They were able to play a land, a creature, and Treasure Cruise, so fantastic. Good job, opponent. I don't really want to attack into this right now. But I have a feeling we're about to get hoofed in the face with another new visit very soon. I have to try to protect this thing. See, now they're in the awkward spot where if they play a spell, then fuck, well, that'll do it, I guess. They just had Lightning Axe the whole time. So this might mean that maybe there's Phoenixes here. I don't think they're missing iteration very much. Alright, well, here's hoping that Master Waves can get us back in this game. Alright. They can't just remove it with a burn spell, so hopefully this will do it. If it doesn't, it's going to be a huge problem for them. I don't think they can reasonably attack here. That doesn't seem very good. Yeah. I don't think I reasonably want that either. um, Probably Otawara is a little bit better here. Okay, well, I think that was definitely a mistake because I should not have attacked with Master of Waves, and I totally did. So they should have definitely blocked that. Oh, they just had their own. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. They had their own plan for this, but I think they were so committed to their plan, they just totally ignored our mistake of attacking. Because I think this absolutely should have just blocked this and killed it. Young Pyromancer? Ooh, that's bad. My god, I have another treasure cruise. Suddenly, Master of Waves does not look like he's going to get the job done. Oh, there's Jace, okay. It's very possible they will just naturally mill through their deck, so I really want to play this Gadwick. So badly, but I think I have to play Master. So I just don't really have a reasonable way of winning otherwise. Like, I don't think they're going to trade Pyromancer with one of these things, so No! Damn it, it's legendary. I wanted to... I only played it because I was thinking about trying to get the 6 mana to potentially play, like, Gadwick into Brazen Borrower, but I just keep fucking up today, and I have no excuse for it. There's another Shredder. That's definitely not helping our cause. Now, Treasure Cruise is not fine in any format, alright? Let's just be clear about this. It's arguable whether you can balance a format around Brainstorm. You cannot fucking balance a format around Ancestral Recall. It just can't be done. Yeah, it is absolutely not reasonable. Okay, well, again, it looks like it doesn't... all of our mistakes are irrelevant completely because now we're about to get hit with 3 Phoenixes, so, like, we can just give up here. They're already at 12 cards left in their deck. Like, that was just a fucking beating. Okay. That was just rough. Oh, my God. Alright. I don't know about Thassa here. Definitely not Wizards class. Definitely not Oracle. I guess we're just doing it like this. And the Void Snare is just brutal in the main, too. Well, Dispute and Aether Gust are both cards that I care about seeing, so... that means that we have an answer to a Shredder, which I will definitely dispute Shredder. Again, we screwed up, I think, a fair bit in that match, but, like, none of it actually mattered in the end because the opponent just had, like, way too much for us to reasonably ever hope that, like, even with playing correctly, like, it was not going to beat that, so... Okay. They very possibly have, Dispute, but I don't know if I can afford to play around it. Oh no, they're just gonna strangle here. That's actually, like, worse. Because now playing Masters is not even, like, good. But I have to do it. Like, I don't really have an alternative. This does not look great because Phoenix is already in the graveyard. And they have a Pyromancer out with 5 cards in hand. Like, we're just at any given point, this just falls apart. And they just cast, like, a Treasure Cruise and we just die. We can't reasonably do anything here. Attacking is not really ideal here. We are not the aggro in this board state. You know, like, they just cast Treasure Cruise. We're just murdered. And they can do it, so... 2 damage to any target. Draw 2, discard 2. No, thank you. I like my elementals very much, thank you. And I know if their elementals are going to die anyway, may as well attack with them. All right, well, maybe with 2 masters we can start attacking through their board. Maybe. So they can't Prismari to kill off masters, so... I can't beat that. The spirit tokens are not... They're colorless, right? Yeah. Sure, opponent. You just have it. That there was no fucking way I could defeat that. So I had to attack there. Like I did not have an alternative not to. Brutal. They put Gigantha in their hand. Have to try to block this thing. Now there are 2 Phoenixes in the graveyard, and they have Gigantha in hand. Would you like to try again for a Zenny? Alright, you know what? I give up. I have no board, no way to defeat this. Alright. That was brutal. Definitely seems like there's still way too much removal for like any hope of like Oracle actually doing anything, so... At least with the artifacts, like it was more difficult for them to remove it, but I don't know. I think it's very hard because there's just the removal is too brutal in this deck. I enjoy playing it, but at the same time, like the quality of like the white, black, and red removal is just ridiculous. I don't really have a good way to get through it. And like our I don't know, I don't think that our sideboard cards are really doing what they were supposed to anyway. And I don't blame people for playing, Treasure Cruise plus a pile of removal in this format because that seems like reasonably the best thing you could be doing, which is why like Phoenix and control decks are like the top of the format. But like the exception is like, well, I guess even the Lotus Field deck like really does the same thing. They just play like a bunch of draw spells because there's just ridiculously powerful draw spells here. Yeah, their plan is just not play anything that can be removed, and then mono green just plays a bunch of stuff that removal is not really effective against. So I don't know. I kind of like the same thing I'd said before about this format. I think maybe if there was something like Kira here to help protect the creatures, it would be a little bit more viable. But it's way too hard for the aggressive decks. I think it's also like even us with our pathetic ability to remove things, we're able to beat vampires. So like I struggle to imagine how it would deal against like the Phoenix decks or like any of the control decks. It just seems like it'd be very difficult. So I don't know how to like I don't know how to fix this with the cards that are in Pioneer right now. I don't think it's far away from being fixed. Like clearly stuff like Thassa, where it's stuff that's difficult to remove and is also like a win condition, does seem like it helps, but at the same time it's just hard. How do I feel about mono blue spirits? um the deck occasionally does really well, but I think that it is like an extremely high variance like deck because kind of for the reason you're suggesting, there is a lot of removal, and that deck kind of has to have all of the things line up right for it in order to not just get destroyed. Because a lot of times with that deck, you have to decide, like, okay, am I going to commit to trying to kill the opponent fast, or am I going to commit to trying to play, like, a super slow control route? And and it's not always clear which one the deck has to do, and you can't really do both at the same time. So if you kind of pick the wrong role, like, and you miss like a turn or two of attacking because you chose a control route when you need to be attacking, it's just gonna be very difficult for it. And a lot of the decks, because of like stuff like Treasure Cruise and like Ledger Shredder and whatnot, they're all like a lot. There's a lot of sideboards packing Mystical Dispute, which is also very good against that deck, which makes it even more difficult. Like same thing with us. Like we're playing Mystical Dispute, but also like we expect a lot of our opponents are also playing it. So it's like very blue versus blue. It's like it's very similar like how Legacy plays out, except that the threats in Legacy are a lot better, I think. So, but it also like lacks Ancestral Recall. There's better ways I think to punish the blue decks in Legacy than there are in this format. But I think it's ultimately going to come down to like banning Expressive Iteration was definitely a good ban in my opinion. But it probably at some point you're gonna have to go for those delve spells. Like Dig Through Time and Treasure Cruise are just not cards that should be in a constructed format. They're not. I remember playing with them like even in standard and it was ridiculous. Like every single format I've ever played with those cards in just like absolutely broke those formats. There's a reason they're banned from both modern and legacy, and it doesn't really matter how hard you try. They're not gonna, yeah, Pioneer is not gonna be like balanced around them. So those are definitely, and I will stake like anything in this. Those are whens, not ifs. It's just a matter of when it finally comes for it. Because I know that they're trying not to. They've said as much in their article. They're trying to like give Pioneer an identity of like balancing around the spells, but I don't think you can. There's those they're way too strong. Like we had so many opponents that just drew like 6, 9 cards because of them in like one game, and like that is not an advantage that like any deck like really can compete with. So, but I don't know. I think, like I said, I think it's close. Like this shell in particular, we need something else, something that will help us. Like Cavern of Souls would help it, and stuff like Kira would definitely help it a lot. But you have to have something to deal with the counter spells and something to deal with the removal. And I don't think that like the Devotion deck in this format has either of those things. At least in modern, you know, you have those tools to work with, but you even have like Force of Negation, which can help a lot too. But I don't know. It's I really, like I said, I enjoy playing this deck, but I might have to step away from it from a while, or step away from it for a while again because, like I said, it's just it's too hard with it right now. I don't feel like that it's fixable against like a lot of what the best decks are doing at the moment, and you're just gonna run into them too often. So I don't know. Hopefully that people watching enjoyed it. Um, but that's you know what? Hold on. Let's you can see the sideboard here. Like Hullbreaker Horror is a card that like in theory should be really good, but at the same time, I don't know if we've ever actually got to cast it like any of the times that we've even played it. And like even in the scenarios where we like could have casted it, it still wouldn't have helped because like the opponents just still had like a million ways to deal with it. They had their own bounces for it. Um and or we just, we're not fast enough to get it out, where it's a lot easier for them to just like control the game with like Treasure Cruise and then just dump this and win. So it's like this could be something that's good, but it just in practice it seems like it's very difficult for us to achieve the mana that we need for it. I mean, that's something maybe like the artifact build did a little bit better with Wishing Well and Moonsnare Prototype, is that it stuck more more devotion into play, but a lot of times like then that if you do that, then you still don't have like the aggro clock that you need to actually win the game. And yeah, like I said, there's just too many problems at so I don't know, maybe at some point if we can get more cards for it I can revisit it, but it's probably going to be a while. So all right, that's all I've got for today. Should go see what else is going on here right now. Who else is doing things? Do. It is that time again where we got to go find somebody to go share our love. Right? Oh, you know what? What is? Okay, Doomlink is playing Modern. He's playing 4-color creativity. I think that's definitely an option. Yeah, I don't really see like a whole lot of Pioneer going on. Wait, this person's. Oh, you know what? This person is playing Pioneer. Okay, we can go. We will go visit this person. I don't think I've ever
What would you perceive you?
been here before, but you know what? That's fine. We will go visit Connor Man. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Like I wish this would have went a little bit better, but you know that's life. So hopefully it will do better with whatever we do next week, which I have no idea what it is yet. We'll see when we get there. So that's all I've got for now. Come check out my Final Fantasy playthroughs. I've been doing that and hopefully getting attention for charity. That's fun. So, and in the meantime, I'll see you next time.